the rules that we have here with tradethepool, they were a challenge for sure at the beginning, because I didn't really have like personal trading rules in the past. But these rules helped me a lot to be disciplined. I love a story that is going to work. But more than that, it helped me to be consistent.
Welcome everybody to another Funded Trader of tradethepool. Today a special guest is with me, Jorge. We'll talk about it in a second. How are you doing, buddy?
Pretty good. I'm doing pretty good. Awesome. Thank you.
Great. Thanks for coming. Jorge, for those of you not familiar, maybe didn't see him on YouTube yet, he actually won our last trading competition, took the first place, and he's also a funded trader of tradethepool, been with us for a while. Had a few funded accounts, right?
Yes.
And this time you passed the evaluation of the $160,000 buying power, the extra buying power as we call it, and you're already in profit on your funded account. So it's going to be a blast to everyone to listen, and just to pick your brain to understand how it feels like trading on evaluation, trading on a funded account. Tell us a little bit about the experience.
Yeah, sure. Well, honestly, before TTP, tradethepool, I was, I don't think I was like doing good with trading. I started trading in late of 2020, but to be honest, I didn't know what I was doing. I was trying to trade, but I didn't know what I was doing. But then I get to know tradethepool. It was funny. I was talking to a friend that trades futures. He told me, "Oh, you should try using a prop firm." And I told him, well, I'm not sure if there are prop firms for stocks. So I started Googling at that time, and then I found tradethepool. And then, I decided to give it a chance. And I think I've been here for over a year now. I think I was here before your first anniversary. So, but, I've been in and out, right? So, of course, I failed my first evaluation. But when I started to get more practice with tradethepool using evaluations, it's not that I took like so many, right? First, I used the demo and all that, but I started to being a short bias trader with tradethepool. But it's been good. Honestly, tradethepool, taking different evaluations in the past, and I participated even in different competitions in the past. It helped me to a lot to be disciplined. Because I passed evaluation in the past, got a funded account, and then I blew it out. I blew it out because of lack of discipline. But all this time has been helping me a lot to develop that discipline that is needed to be successful here. And also, it also helped me a lot to develop a trading strategy. So, this last competition, I was okay. This is my chance to win, right? I've been in the competition in the past. I did well in the past competition, but this one I was determined to win it. The rules that we have here with tradethepool, they were a challenge for sure at the beginning, because I didn't really have like personal trading rules in the past. But these rules helped me a lot to be disciplined. I love a story that is going to work based on the rules, but more than that, it helped me to be consistent.
I love two things that you mentioned here. One thing that you mentioned is, and this is something funny because maybe not a lot of people are aware of that, but you can actually, I will say that with a quote, you can use us in order to become a better trader, right? Instead of trading your own capital, risking your own money and all of those things, once you enter tradethepool, and because we have a low tier, like the $20,000, the mini buying power, when you can pay $97 and go through the evaluation, you can actually test yourself and train and learn how to become a better trader by just doing that. So instead of putting 5K or 10K in a broker account. So this is something that we see lately going on more than before. If before we used to get more veteran traders, someone that comes with 5 years of experience, 10 years of experience. Now we get in also guys that been trading for like 3 months, 6 months, and they want to try it. Some of them actually passing the evaluation pretty easily. And if they're not, they will go and try it a little bit longer. And like you said, trying to work on the evaluation, crafting your strategies, crafting your discipline, and then you become funded. So that's a great thing that you mentioned there. Okay, it's interesting to see because you have the experience of evaluations and funded. Tell me a little bit about the differences. Do you feel different when you trade in the evaluation comparing to what you do on your funded account?
Yes. I think there's a difference because, before the competition, I had a funded account. I was able to take a payout, and it was a small payout, but I was able to take that. And after the payout, I blew it out. I blew it out
Mm.
completely. I started to making mistakes, and I just like didn't control my emotions, so I went down a spiral. So, and I blew it out. But there's a difference, when we have an evaluation, sometimes we might feel the pressure of, trying to pass it, and we want to force it and pass it, right, to get funded. But once we're funded, I think we even have more pressure, right, to be able to take a payout. So I think we, during the evaluation, maybe we take more risk than we shouldn't, just to pass it. And once we have the evaluation, maybe we cannot handle that risk management, because maybe we didn't have the enough, practice or discipline, and then we might blew our account. So it happened to me, right? I blew out, I think, like what, two funded accounts in the past. The first one couldn't take a payout, blew it out, and then the second one I was able to get paid, but after that, I blew it out. So now that I'm funded now with a bigger account,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't feel a difference now, because I think I have learned from my, previous experience what I have to do, which is just focus on building a cushion first, take a small risk. Once I'm able to build a good cushion, then I start to probably take more risk and size more.
Yeah. And now I remember you also mentioned about the rules, getting used to the rules, right? Because when you trade in your
Hmm.
own personal account, you don't have any rules. You can do whatever you
Hmm.
want. And from time to time, it will look like that's a good thing, right? I don't have any rules, any boundaries. But you actually see, and this is something that we see every day with our funded traders, because they have those rules, because they have risk limitations, we'll call that, they
Hmm.
actually succeed much better than on their personal account. It's easier for them to trade when they actually have those boundaries. So that's amazing to see. And I guess you're right. It takes a little bit time to get used to the rule, the fact that you have rules, but once you do, it's much more easier to trade with that, right?
Absolutely, yeah. The rules at the beginning, they were annoying to me. I think most of the traders are annoyed by the rules, but when you take them seriously, it really helps you be consistent and find that setup and strategy that's going to work and make you successful. Without rules, I think we're not going to go anywhere.
100%. Jorge, I'm going to share my screen and show the guys at home your dashboard. For those of you not familiar with that, so every trader will get his own dashboard. You can track your stat and see the progress. And we'll start with your evaluation account, which is this one. So you traded the extra buying power that you won on your competition. That was price, number one price. So you got that from the competition. You need to reach a certain goals, 7,800, not lose more than this max
Hmm.
loss in that case. Daily pause. This is the chart. Basically, a nice move. You had like you consolidated at first, like rangy. Then you found your rhythm. We'll talk about that in a second. Nice stats, 60% success rate, 1 to 6 on the ratio. So that's good as well, 1.6. And mostly, like you said, you're mostly doing short, right?
Yeah,
I
short
do love
bias,
the
right?
fact that you have some longs as well and not just short. That's also show more on your trading character, so you can adapt yourself more easily because the market obviously shift from bear to bull and ranchy market. So in that case, it will definitely give you an edge over time. Tell me a little bit about the strategy. What are you looking to trade? How you do that? Obviously, I see a lot of penny stocks here.
Yeah, short bias trader. I focus on small caps, penny stocks, and I have a few setups that I trade that I have seen that they work for me after journaling. So, but the main one to go is using MACD. So I mostly focus on pre-market. I use MACD, the first thing to go to have confirmation that my trade is going to work. So, I like to start trading at 7 a.m. Eastern time. It's 5 a.m. my time, very early for me. But I start at 7 a.m. I pull up my scanners. So everything that hit my scanners that is squeezing up, I put it in my chart, and I like to see them make a move up and then a pullback. And with that, I like to see MACDs, going up at the same time than the stock. Then I like to see the stock pull back, curling down and crossing down. So what I do is I also take consideration other criteria, right? But the main one is MACD. So once the stock moves up, maybe because the company releases news, on maybe just they sometimes pop up right without news. But I like
Yeah.
to see them go up, set a pre-market high, then start going down. So once I see that MACD start crossing down, then I start to like catch an entry. So, but other criteria that I take in consideration is the float of the stock. My sweet spot are stocks that are between $1 and $20 and that have a float less than 30 million. So I take in consideration the float as well because I've seen that stocks with very low float, like less than 3 million, they squeeze up very quickly. So I like to see like the first move up on MACD cross down, and then I like to see like a second move up on MACD with these very low float stocks to be able to enter. With other stocks that have like higher floats, I usually try to catch the first move across down. And the reason why I focus on pre-market is because during pre-market is when we have the cleanest MACD moves, right? Before stocks start squeezing up, they are basically flat, like MACD is flat, but then they start squeezing up 20, 30, 50%, or even 100%. So that MACD clearly moves up and then it's going to clearly move down. So that's like my main strategy.
That's amazing. What's amazing about it is that the MACD was invented in the, I guess, in the 70s, maybe early 80s, and we still, like 50 years later, we still use that. Obviously, I've been using that for many years as well, and it still works, right? You just need to understand how to operate it, right, and how to
Right.
the risk management that applies to the strategy. But to see something that still working that day, that's incredible. Show you how the market still react in the same type or the same way. The decision making in the market are the same thing. Nice, very nice. Going to
It took
show.
it took me time actually. Sorry for interrupting. It
Yeah,
took me
right.
time, to see that MACD it works for me. I think a year ago I decided to trade every day, like without skipping days, and just like get practice and get familiar with charts. So yeah, it's when I decided to start using MACD and started to give it a closer look. So and I also was journaling, analyzing my trades every day. So after analyzing my trades every day is when I started to notice the pattern that was working for me. So then
Yeah.
after I realized that was happening, then I focused on that pattern first to be consistent and then to turn the corner and start being profitable.
Very nice. And I'm happy that you did that and found your rhythm. Looking at your funded account, the current funded account, interesting to
Mhm.
see. Yeah, even more interesting than the evaluation, because here, first of all, you got a nice profit already, 2000. You made a nice push, went all the way down, even to a minus, and then bounced again. I gotta understand that, guys that listening right now and watching that, we all experienced that, right? We all had a
Mhm.
nice move to the upside and then a crazy move to the downside, going all negative. What got you to that place, and
Mhm.
then how you bounced from it?
It's very interesting. I was doing very good my first day and second day of my funded trader account.
Yeah,
But the second day, I think it was last Tuesday. So on second day, I ended up the day, I think, green 1300. But I broke one of my rules, which is like walk away and don't trade for the day. So I didn't follow that rule. I came back for aftermarket because I saw a stock squeezing up a lot. Like it went up above 1,000%. It was NUKK, right?
yeah,
So that squeezed up a lot, and I decided to take a trade, trying to shorten it after market. Something funny that happened is that I took the trade, I let my plan run, and then I went downstairs, started to do something else. I completely forgot I had that position open, and then when I came back like 2 hours later, it blew up my trade and my profits of previous day. So that's why there's like a big gap down because I
got
completely
it.
forgot after being up 1300, I was down 1300. Like, oh my God,
Yeah,
that was a big mistake. But then the next day, there's like a lot of up and downs, up and downs, up and downs. I was emotionally triggered and I broke again all my personal trading rules. I revenge trade, emotionally trade, and I try to make up that money back. To be honest, that's something that I don't usually do, but I was
yeah.
emotionally triggered. But I was able to recover the money. I was also being very cautious. But yeah, I was able to not recover all my loss, but majority of it.
Yeah. So I guess you did it very nicely because when you have a push like this to the downside, you already had a nice profit. and going back like the market did yesterday, if you saw it, like at the end of the day, it just went down like crazy. So it looks exactly the same. It's kind of hard to bounce from it. Like you said, emotionally, you're trying to more go to the revenge trading kind of mode, and not necessarily selecting your specific trades. And so it took you, like you said, it took you a minute to grasp it, and then you found your rhythm again. Hopefully from here you will break that resistance and go even higher from that. One thing that I see, you have like 52% success rate instead of 60 as you had in the evaluation, and your risk reward ratio is a little bit lower than that. Do you feel like there's a difference there? What do you need to do in order to get back?
Yeah, for me, it's very important having high accuracy or success rate. And I really focus on that. So I consider that I don't trade a lot of trades per day. So, but my success rate, it is low because I've been over trading. I've been taking more trades than I used to. But that was because, this big drop, I was emotionally triggered. So I'm going to like focus on being more disciplined, follow more my personal trading rules, not over trading, not emotionally trade. But yeah, I definitely want to focus on having a better success rate and a better risk to reward. But yeah, it was because I was over trading mainly. I was over trading. And if I overtrade, then, I take more losses as well.
Yeah, that's 100%. This is something that, like I said, I'm sure the guys that listen in right now, 99% of them had the same experience. Generally in trading, I had it many times before as well. So yeah, this is something that we all need to work on. And this is why I love trading so much. It's working on and crafting your trading or your ability to handle situations, right? Similar in life, when you have different situations and you have to deal with it. So once you learn how to deal with it once, and it repeats itself after, then you know how you can come out of it. All right. Okay, it was great. Let's finish with one tip for the guys that listen in on how to pass the evaluation the best possible way.
Yeah, sure. Well, what helped me turn the corner was first being consistent and being green first. Like I was focusing on taking one trade, two per day. Once I hit green, I'm out for the day. So I did that for probably 2 months. So that helped me to build consistency and see that my strategy was working and have confidence that I can do this, right? And after that, I started journaling. So journaling is what helped me also a lot because I started to analyze all my trades daily to see what was working for me and focus on just the things that were working and avoid the mistakes that I was making. So that's my tip for everybody. First build consistency, take few trades until you get confidence that things are working for you, and then journal, analyze your trades every day so that you find your edge.
That's perfect. All righty. Thanks so much for your time and the knowledge that you shared. Guys that listen, go check us out at tradethepool.com. Join one of the evaluation, pass it, get funded. Hopefully you will be in this interview next. Again, thanks so much, Jorge. Maybe we'll do another interview after a payout.
Thank you. I hope so.
Yeah, definitely. So thank you, and we'll be in touch. Bye for now.
Thank you so much. Bye.